Hello. All right, so our parsha this week is a very strange parasha. It's a story of Balak and Bilam. And so who's Bob? King Balak is the king of the Moabites. And the Moabites are the nemesis of the Israelites, warring against us in the desert. And later, enemies of the Israelites, plotting against the Israelites while we're wandering through the desert, right? Vulnerable. So King Balak of the Moabites comes up with a seemingly fail-safe plan to destroy the Israelites. He hires the best, most powerful prophet wizard in all the world to curse the Israelites and destroy us. The prophet's name is Bilam, and it seems like Bilam was the real deal. In the Talmud, our rabbis teach that God chose Moses to be the prophet for Israel, and God chose Bilam to be the prophet for the rest of the world. Our rabbis teach that Bilam was even a greater prophet than Moses. Can you believe that? Our Midrash explains, kind of like a Zen, thing. So there's a difference between the prophecy of Moses and the prophecy of Bilam. Moses did not know who spoke with him. Bilam knew. Moses didn't know when God would speak with him until God spoke. Bilam knew. Moses didn't speak with God until he stood up. Bilam spoke with God as he was on his way down. So I'll explain the last one. The first two are sort of self-explanatory, I suppose. When prophets would prophesy, often they would lay prostrate on the ground. Right? And that's how they started to feel the energy of the earth and the cosmos. So Moses had to prostrate first, get into the zone, and then stand up, and God spoke to him. But Bilam didn't need any preparation. On his way down, God was already speaking. But here's the catch, right? So even though Bilam was the most powerful prophet in all the world, he was still missing something. Right? Bilam didn't have a moral compass. He didn't know how to choose good, to use his powers to benefit the world. Our rabbis teach that Bilam was so morally corrupt that back when the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, Bilam was an advisor to Pharaoh. Wouldn't you know it? Who came up with the idea of throwing all the baby boys into the Nile? Bilam. So here's the lesson. It's not about talent or power or charisma or intellect or even education. It's about using that energy, using those strengths to do good in the world. It's about using every opportunity that we have to be helpful and kind and creative and loving. At the end of the story, Bilam, who was hired by Balak to curse the Jews and destroy them with his prophetic powers, arrives at the Israelite camp in the desert, and he gets up on the mountaintop and looks down on the Israelite camp, takes a deep breath, clears his mind, connects with God for a moment, and begins his curse. What comes out? Instead of cursing the Jews, out of his mouth comes a blessing. Hinei ma tov u'manayim, how beautiful are these people, right? He was there to curse us, and then it got flipped. The cosmos wouldn't let that happen. He was in the wrong direction. He was on the wrong path. Instead of using his powers for good, he was hired to use his powers to destroy. Even though Bilam had that power, the source of all didn't let him use those powers for cursing. They're only supposed to be used for blessing. Ribono shel olam, source of all power. Help us to cultivate our talent and our strength, our efficiency and our power but more importantly, source of all blessing, direct us toward goodness and blessings. And in that way, we will be your agents of blessing and goodness in the world. Together we say, Amen. Amen.